Okay. So this is Docker. This is a basic command Docker PS. Docker PS will tell you how many containers are running in your system.
Okay. So sorry to interrupt you here because I'm using Mac. So is it different on Mac?
No, nothing is different. Nothing is different.
Okay.
It's all same.
Okay.
Because the Docker environment should be running. That's all. Otherwise, all the commands and everything you can try even now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go on, please.
Just a second. Okay. So let's say, so Docker is nothing. Let's say Docker pool. So have you ever logged in into Docker Hub? Do you know about the Docker Hub?
Yeah.
Okay. So Docker Hub, you have to create one account, the account in Docker Hub, hub.docker.com. Okay.
Yeah.
And once you create the account, you can have just like a GitHub. Okay, you can uh, you can have all your containers, okay, uh, stored in a Docker Hub.
Okay. So how did you created this web app?
I'll tell you. Don't worry about the web app. What I'm telling you about the Docker Hub. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is Docker Hub? Docker Hub is a content like storage for all your containers. Whatever you create,
Okay.
it will hold it just like GitHub. You know
Okay. Okay.
GitHub, right? Just like that.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
Okay. So you will have all the repositories here. See, I have so many repositories here.
Yeah.
So now see how to create a container, or let's say how to use the container first. Then we'll see how to create the container.
Okay. Yeah.
So how to use the container. So you have one command, Docker pool. So let's say you want to run Ubuntu on your Windows machine or Mac machine. Okay, so you
Yeah.
always do Docker pool Ubuntu. This is the container created by other people. Maybe Ubuntu container is created by Ubuntu company, Linux
Okay.
company,
Yeah.
organization. Okay, and they have made it public. So anybody who wants to use Ubuntu, this is,
Yeah.
and what is Ubuntu? Ubuntu is the what is called similar to the Linux machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's say you have one laptop installed Ubuntu, it will act like Ubuntu machine. It will not have all the features like the desktop and everything. Okay, but the
Yeah.
command lines and everything will be same. So
Okay.
So once you do Docker pull Ubuntu, it will pull the Ubuntu from Docker Hub.
Yeah.
Okay. So, or this is the official image from Ubuntu. This one. Okay, and what
Yeah.
you do? Docker pull Ubuntu. Now,
Okay.
now Ubuntu you have pulled it. Okay, and you have in your, if you say Docker images, so whatever you
Yeah.
have pulled, that is the image, not the container. When we
Okay.
call a container when it is running.
Okay.
If it is not running, that will be called only image.
Okay.
Okay. So container,
Okay.
if anybody is talking about container, means something is running.
Yeah.
Okay, container is running. What is running? That is what we call it container. And
Yeah.
the container template we call it Docker image. So there is a Docker
Yeah.
image, not
Okay.
the container. Okay, now
Yeah.
we'll see that Docker run Ubuntu. If we run this command,
Yeah. So now it's running in the background.
yes. So Docker, so I think it is already running. Okay, how you will make sure that the Docker is running? You have to do Docker exec -it. Okay, Ubuntu and bash. This is the command. Okay, so it is like Docker run -it -d. Now it is running. This
Okay.
is the command. Docker run -it -i -d Ubuntu. So this is the image name, but you have just pulled in. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a
Yeah.
command line option to run that. So
Yeah.
now you have to go inside the Ubuntu. Okay. How you will
Yeah.
do? Docker exec. So exec is like execution.
Yeah.
You want to execute something inside the container.
Yeah.
So Docker exec to you have to keep the there is a container ID. You
Yeah.
get this container ID means this container is running. Okay. Now you can see
Yeah.
that. Now you can see you are inside the Ubuntu operating system. Can you see this?
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yes.
So you can do ls. It will show all the file systems what they have in this container.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can run any command here, like mkdir, whatever commands run mkdir, ls, this is created here. Right? So this is the way we go inside the container, running container. This is
Yeah.
the way to run any container from here.
Yeah.
And this is the way to go inside the container, and bash means bash commands.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can run anything and then execute. Now so this is your container. Now what we can do, we have created one directory here, right?
Yeah.
Now we will create a new image out of that, and
Yeah.
will deploy in your Docker hub. Okay, how we will
Okay.
be doing? So we'll again go back to the container, and the Yogesh directory is already there. So let's talk about the real-time environment, real-time production and all. So all the libraries, okay, I will install in this container, running container.
Okay.
So I have created the directory, means you can install any directory, any library, everything here in this container.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can create one image and put it in your repository.
Okay.
And that image you can use to deploy on Kubernetes.
Okay.
tell you. So Docker index okay. So okay, we are inside this container. So this one will accept it and Docker okay. So -a will tell you all the containers running. So you can see this container ID, which we
Yeah.
started 3 minutes back. Okay, and the container ID you can try to match it. You can see that the 36B6. So this is the container ID. Right? So
Yeah.
first few letters it actually it shows here.
Okay.
Even first few letters, this much you can take it and you can work on the container. So whenever you want to refer this container ID, you don't have to refer all this big ID.
Okay.
This much is enough to go and play with the container.
Yeah.
Now, this container, what is running, we have created one directory, and now we have to save this container in a different image. Okay. So what we will be doing, Docker commit and give this ID. This is a container ID which is already running, and give a new name. Okay, let's say here. So the idea is you put one image, you made it run, and you modified that image container according to your requirement. You install some libraries and everything to run your
Yeah.
application. Now you are creating the image out of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the new image you have created just now with the commit
Okay.
command.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we will go inside this container. Okay.
Okay.
So first we have to run it and you take the container ID and do accept. Now you can see that. Okay. Or we can
Yeah.
instead of sh, we say bash. Can you see this user directory is there? This image is different.
Yeah.
Got it, right?
So when you did this Docker commit, this will create the image on the Docker hub or our local machine.
Local machine.
Okay.
Now we have to push this image, push this here. So let's see. So can you see that Docker image is there in local system?
Yeah.
Whatever we have created. Now we'll do Docker push. Image ID or name.
Yeah.
And before that, what we have to do, we have to check that you have logged in into Docker Hub from this command line.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to connect. So login succeeded. So I was already logged in. So for the first time, it will open up the browser, and you have to create the account or log in into the account. Then you will get this message login succeeded. Once you
Same
see that
like GitHub.
sorry.
Same like GitHub. In GitHub also for the first time it
Yeah.
gives.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Same. Okay. Once you are here, I'll share you one document. Okay, you can follow that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other commands for Docker, like
Okay.
the images you can delete, remove, stop the container. You can stop and everything. You can learn it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm whatever I'm telling you, that is the practical way what we do.
Okay. Yeah.
So now let's say Docker push and the GitHub ID. So what is the GitHub ID? You can see here. Okay. And you will get this GitHub ID.
Yeah.
Whatever
Okay.
account you create, and you have to give the GitHub ID and the name of your new image.
Okay, so first you do Docker push the image, then you do Docker push your ID and then image. So you have to do it twice.
No. I created one image out of Ubuntu. Okay, the image, new image name is here Ubuntu. Okay. Now
Yeah.
I want to push it to a Docker Hub. So our Kubernetes cluster can directly take from a Docker Hub and install it on anywhere.
Okay.
So let me know if you are confused. I can explain you.
So this Docker push Dheeraj Ubuntu, what this will do? This will send to Docker Hub, right?
Yes.
And Docker push Yogesh Devangan 97 slash Dheeraj Ubuntu. What is the difference between these two?
This one and this one.
No. Docker push Dheeraj Ubuntu and Docker push Yogesh Devangna 97 slash Dheeraj Ubuntu.
So I think Docker push
Yeah.
okay. So okay, I was confused. So whenever you want to refer this image from Docker Hub, you have to specify the Docker Hub ID. But when
Okay.
so we are already connected to Docker and logged in to Docker Hub right from here. So this is not required. Because the 97 is not required.
Okay.
You can see so this command while this command is going on, you can see that we have that repository created here.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Yeah, now it is. So the learning here is
Yeah.
when you are creating the image, right? You have to specify the Docker Hub ID. You are right. Okay. Why? Because I'll tell you. So when we were trying without the Docker ID in
Yeah.
front of Dheeraj Ubuntu, so it was targeting the Docker.io library. So this library is the hub from Docker.io. It will
Okay.
not recognize that which Docker hub you want to push your image. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to create the image with your Docker hub ID. Let's say
Okay.
your company name is Ivanti. Okay, so Ivanti
Yeah.
slash Dheeraj Ubuntu, whatever, right? So now it is pushing. You can
Okay.
okay, once this meeting gets disconnected, right, you can log in back.
Sorry.
If your meeting gets disconnected after 14 minutes, right, so you can log in back. You can join back.
Okay. 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 No problem.
Whatever Zoom I have, that is free version. So it allows only 14 minutes.
Okay. No worries.
Can you see the repository created?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now you learn how to pull the image, how to create a new Docker image, and how to push it to the Docker Hub. Now,
Yeah.
once your image is available in Docker Hub, okay, so you can pull this from anywhere in the world.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, where a Docker is installed, any machine, you can pull it. You can get this path and just pull it. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can, let's say there are some situations you are working on this project and uh, you have to try some commands on Linux. You are on Windows, okay, but you have to try
Yeah.
some commands on Linux. What you will be doing? Either there are two options, three options. You will find another laptop or system which is on Linux, and you will
Yeah.
manually go and log in and try to run something. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
second scenario is you will create a virtual machine in your laptop, Linux virtual machine, then you will run. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the third best option is you just pull the image from Ubuntu, okay, any operating system, and then you run
Yeah.
the command and check that it is a quick 1 minute task, and then you just destroy the container.
Right. Yeah.
So only this much is there in Docker. Okay, there
Yeah.
is nothing more in Docker. It is just an image, and it is up to you. Like if you are working on a specific project, right, and what containers you want to create. Okay, all the libraries. Let's say that the bare metal Linux OS you got it. Okay, how
Yeah.
you will try to run your application on that? What libraries you will install? That everything you can install on the container and create a new image out of that. Just like
Yeah.
we have created one new directory inside the Dheeraj Ubuntu. So if I
Yeah. Yeah.
pull this Dheeraj Ubuntu, okay, and if I run the container, okay,
Yeah.
I will still get that Yogesh uh, directory created.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right.
this is the idea. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll share one document.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do that to know more about the Docker. But the Docker work is this much only. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
okay.
now what?
Okay, can I ask one question here?
Hmm, yeah.
Yeah, so suppose in I created, instead of Ubuntu, I created a Windows container. And in the Windows container, if I host some application, so how will I access that application from the Docker?
Yeah. So um,
So
I have never. uh,
for a real example, suppose I have Mac, right?
hmm,
And I want to run Microsoft SQL Server, right? So
hmm.
I have option, either I can install VMware, and in that I install Windows virtual machine and then I can use it. Or I can also install Docker, and then in Docker, if I install MS SQL as a container, then how will I access it through my application?
To your application.
Or let's say just a normal local host application, how will I deploy or access in through Docker?
Okay, that we can do. So
Yeah.
now we have one Flash application. Okay. So
Okay.
this Flash application is Python based. Okay,
Okay.
and we
Yeah.
can pull this Flash application and we can try to run in Docker container, and we'll try to access this.
Okay. Can you show me what is this Flask app dev? Is this a
Yeah.
application, running application?
So this is the application, just like a one small website.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have this application,
Yeah. Okay.
and this application shows your machine's host name and
Yeah.
your machine's IP address. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is not no, it is not here, but I have in my local system.
Yeah.
So so it's a very simple code. So Flask don't get inside the Flask if you don't need. Okay.
Yeah.
So so how so this is this exposes some APIs.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the API. How we create the API in Flask is like that. There is
Yeah.
app.route, and if we give the only IP address or local host, okay, without any name, it will
Yeah.
by default call this method.
Okay.
Okay. And if we give /help, with IP address, after IP address or domain name, it will call this health method.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
details, it will fetch the details from here, host name and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And it will return that, and it will be shown on the render template. Means the index.html is there, correct?
Yeah.
And there
Yeah.
we are showing host name and IP address. So
Okay.
we go to index.html also. So we are rendering from here, right? Render template, and this is the
Yeah.
page name. So whatever parameters we will pass, we can catch it here with this
Yeah.
double
Interpolation. Yeah.
bracket. Yeah, double bracket. We can catch those parameters here, and it will be shown.
Yeah.
So this is a simple application. There is nothing much.
Okay.
Okay, and all these things are the different. These three things you don't need to understand.
Yeah.
Kubernetes, I will tell you later. Virtual environment, so when you work on a Python application, right? So it creates a virtual environment where all the libraries will be installed here.
So
Great.
for this application, you created a Docker container
Yes,
for Python environment, right?
yes. So I'll tell you how we create it.